Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Gregory Black, along with my co-host, pointing the wrong way, Vero G.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much for having
And
me.
this was what, the second episode?
Yeah.
WTF Wrestling Live, uncensored.
Yeah.
And I know you're probably wondering why I'm wearing the mask. Well, look, with all the craziness going on and people having to practice social distancing, and I know we're more than 6 feet apart because we're on webcam right now. But just in case, I don't know if this coronavirus can be caught digitally, so I'm going to make sure that you don't catch it.
Sounds like a plan.
And I'm going to make sure that I don't catch it. So, okay, it's hot to breathe in this thing, and it's fogging up my glasses, so I'm taking this off.
All right, that sounds like a plan as well.
Oh,
God. Take it easy, man. He's like, I'm dying in here, man.
Hi,
man.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God.
So I as you guys saw, as you saw, I was in the comments section for the last interview you had with the world champ with Venum.
Yeah.
And we have. Wait, who do we have as a guest today? Well, for this episode,
for the perfect Shawn Jenkins, exact.
Absolutely perfect, Shawn Jenkins. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome,
Interesting.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. Interesting because he's a WTF legend technically, and he's also a former champion. So
awesome.
This should be a great interview.
Definitely. Oh, there he is. Oh my God.
Speaking of the devil, there you go. Shawn Jenkins, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know about the devil. I don't know about the devil. I mean,
I saw some hot sauce over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, the hot sauce is about the only thing that's hot as far as like that type of stuff go, but I'm nowhere near the devil at all, man. The devil, you might want to look at who's running the show here in WTF if you want to start quoting devils and things like that. You gotta giving out that forbidden fruit, and then people bite it, and then they realize they got screwed. So, but I'm glad to be on the show. WTF, and it's basically come down to with all this coronavirus and people battling COVID-19, battling Corona, it's kept us out from being out there. But the only thing that I'm really looking forward to battling is whoever has that belt when this thing gets lifted, because currently I am the number one contender for the title, and it's like having gone down this road of WTF one more time. I've been here when it was established way back in the day, and I decided to I took some time off, but everything in its due time. And the one title that has eluded me is the WTF World Championship. And every time I've gotten close to it, something has happened or someone has changed the angle and it eluded me or whatever. So here and now I have the shot in front of me, and there's only one thing for me to do is just to reach out and take it. And I'm not putting down any past champion or any current champion, but I'm just speaking just like it's like if a bird flies, is it showing off because it can fly? Well, if a person gets in the ring and does what he has to do and wins the belt, I'm not showing off. I'm just doing what I do best, and that's wrestle. Currently the champion is Venum, and with that being the case, Venum is the guy that's on my target list right now. And when I get the chance, there's not going to be any rematch. There's not going to be a second dance. It's going to be a one time. I'm coming through like what's that song? Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. I'm going to come through and turn houses over and flip motor homes, and I'm taking what I need to take. And I'm not doing it to be a bad guy or a heel. I'm trying to show every one of my fans that when you have drive and you want something, you got to go out and take it, because no one's going to give it to you. no one's going to give it to you. Whether you're in the workplace, whether you're in the wrestling ring, whether you're driving, you want to get in the next lane. Everyone's aggressive today. It seems like that. So either you got to out finesse them or you got to out drive them. It's one or the other. And I have both. I have drive and I have finesse. As you here when I get ready to come out, you hear, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely perfect, Shawn Jenkins. And when you hear that, you're going to get exactly what you just heard, a perfect display of athleticism. And that's what I bring to the table all the time. And I figure I'd come on live and get a chance to kind of get back in the mix. And this is good that we're out here. And it's good to be classified as a legend. I thank you earlier for that. I heard that earlier on. I've been in the ring with guys Havoc and Jay Storm and the old school Angela Vega. And I remember the Snack Pack. I remember there's a lot of old wrestlers that were once here that I remember. And to be still here and competing in this new generation of wrestlers. And I kind of become like, well, I wouldn't say that character, but kind of become that older character in the wrestling federation that is still there even when the young pups come in. I was just about to say like a Hulk Hogan or a Ric Flair, but I kind of don't like to compare myself with those two characters. So I'll just be a perfect Shawn Jenkins in the time of 2020.
And that's perfectly cool, man. I mean, honestly, with all the new talent that's in the locker room, and myself included, because I am new. I'm not necessarily new to the business, but I am new to WTF. So it was actually a pleasure meeting you in the locker room, actually getting to know you and everything. And seeing the match where you became the number one contender, it was it was one hellacious, match. It was one very competitive, very, very like strong match. What are your thoughts about that match? What were you thinking when you were in that match? When you were in that scenario?
Well, anytime you step in the ring with Happy the Clown, he leaves you far from feeling happy. I'll tell you that much. But when Happy the Clown and I meet, and we've met several times over the years, and it's definitely a different strategy that I got to take when I'm going to wrestle him, because I can out wrestle Happy the Clown. He can, on a good day, he can out brawl and hardcore. And if there's something made out of metal or a motorcycle helmet or whatever, that's his world. Me, I'm submissions and 1, 2, 3. So when I went into that match, I knew that I was going to have my work cut out for me. But then he actually pulled me into his world, because I started actually going toe to toe with him, and that's rarely that I do. But he kind of called me out, and I'm not the kind of person to turn down the challenge. So I we kind of just went at it, and I ended up getting the victory over him. But I remember there was one point, I think somewhere, I had taunted him and I forgot myself, because the more that you beat on Happy the Clown, the more he just, it's like he likes the beating. It's like I don't, you call it a masochist, or you call it psychologically imbalanced, or whatever it is that he is. That's what I think what makes him happy. That's what makes him happy, is when he gets beat on and then he gets to beat on you. Most people, I think their calming thing is yoga or tai chi. Happy is getting slapped in the face with a hockey stick or something. That's probably his calm down thing. But it was actually a different mentality I had to take in there with him. And when I got my head wrapped around because I lost myself in there, but when I got my head wrapped around what I was dealing with, that was the way I had to come out and beat him. But as far as, I was not going to win that match if I was going to keep throwing fists with him and whatever, because he has a very hard head. So when you hit him, you hurt your hands sometimes, and if your hands aren't working, you can't put a hold on or whatever. Your fingers hurt. So you know, but we've had some moments, Happy and I have a lot of respect for him as a wrestler. He's also a legend and also an old school WTF wrestler. So we kind of know each other pretty well. But you know, he just give him a lot of respect because you know I give the other respect. I give the respect to the other wrestlers where it's needed. But the point is that I had a drive and I got somewhere I need to be, and that's with the title around my. Actually, I don't even wear titles. I put them on my shoulder. The best title I ever have is called Perfect. So everything else is just complimentary because with the title, without a title, I'm still absolutely perfect, Shawn Jenkins. So the title is just complimentary to me. And I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying what it is. But you know, if Happy and I should meet again, it'll be another knockdown and drag out situation. But I'm trying to limit my happy moments as much as possible.
Awesome. I do have a question to you, Shawn. Okay, so like I said, you're a legend from WTF Wrestling, and I commend you for that, for doing it for a very long time and continue on to this moment. So my question to you, Shawn, is this: particularly like out of all the wrestlers you fought in the ring or so forth or wrestled, if you want to, don't you have to name call nobody, but I'm just asking you particularly, like, what is one wrestler that left you when you left out the ring kind of like, wow, spellbound? Let's put it that way.
And are we just talking WTF or we're talking my whole career?
How about in general?
In general, oh
Yeah.
man, there's a couple of wrestlers that it depends on when the moment was because sometimes, like I wrestled one, oh, okay, I wrestled one wrestler in Bronx, New York. His name was Coupe DeVille, right? I'll drop a name because I don't. It don't. It's all right. It's good. It's props.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this was in the early 2000s. This was his debut match,
Wow.
and he, I just called out anybody. I said because I just finished fighting Happy. Actually, I had just finished fighting Happy the match before that, and I still was feeling good. So I called out. I said anybody that's back there that's raw, send out whoever. I'll just want to know. I just need a little extra workout. And this young man comes out, and for a person that had his rookie moment, he came out a ball of fire, and he left an impression on me because I was like, wow, this dude came out and he came in the ring and was all over the place and all over me. And I had to take a second to catch myself, but he did a great job. And it's, when you get like a wrestler that's brand new coming into the business, they have a fire that no one else has.
Awesome.
And it can teach you as an established wrestler, you kind of sometimes get in a zone where you're like, it's like a person that's been working at a certain job for a long time. They've been doing it so long to where it's like, I've been here for years, right? And then this new person comes in the job and starts tearing stuff up, and you're like, whoa, I need to get my stuff together, So that's what happened in that one match. That's in a setting with a rookie person. That's where that was one person left an impression on me. Another, oh boy. There's so many wrestlers. I'm trying to pick one.
The line goes down on this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some moments because I've had good. I mean, every match I've had a good moment, more or less. I can't. There aren't that many matches where I could say, "Oh, I hated that match." It was terrible. But there's a match you can see online. I fought this young man for the EWA title, CD edition, and we went at it for over 20 something minutes, and at the end I won the match, but he would not stop. He would not give up, and you can look it up, and it's out there. It's Perfect Shawn Jenkins versus CD edition. It's a great match. I think one of my favorite matches. And again, he's a young fella. He was a good guy, but he just would not quit. And it's like I said, a young person has like a fire that you just don't come up against. Modern times, I'm trying to think. Some wrestlers I have not wrestled yet, but I would love to actually wrestle. I haven't come up across yet. but it's still time. I'm like what? Wait, what? So
Oh no.
I
Okay.
see
No.
a question on the screen.
Well,
So,
okay. Oh,
so,
you do the honors,
but,
Gregory, or
huh?
no, Gregory? Would you like to do the honors? And
Actually, I'll let you handle it.
okay, I want to make sure. Okay, so Terrence, I won't pronounce the last name. I won't mess it up. But he says, so if you win the title, would you face Happy in your own world of wrestling? Ooh, good question.
My own world of wrestling. Would I face him? Meaning, like in my meaning, is this question saying that, like in my style of wrestling, meaning like a non happy to clown world of wrestling?
Something to that extent, if you can
I
say so.
guess. Well, yeah, Terrence. Listen, I first, if I win the championship, I'm gonna fight as many people that you can put in front of me. It's not gonna be a case of I'm ducking challenges. Look, I come from a time when I used to wrestle 4 matches a night, 4 nights a week.
Oh my God.
So I wrestled all the time. So I mean, I still am classified as the perfect machine. That was there was uh I guess you can call it a nickname they had earlier. I'll show you the picture. I think I still have it here. I gotta look it up, but it has me as the Terminator with the T100 look and everything.
Oh man.
But I would
Oh,
wrestle. I
that's
would
cool.
wrestle Happy the Clown
That's cool.
in a match. If it's my world match, I definitely will wrestle him because it's in your own backyard. You got favoritism, but I definitely would
True.
go at it with him or anybody else that will show up. As the coin of phrase, I'll be a fighting champion.
So, is there anyone on the roster currently that you would like to face off, even in a non-title situation? Just throwing that out there.
Well, let's see. From a
Oh, Terrence also came up with a particular match idea: submission match.
a submission match is right up my alley because I know quite a few submission holes. I even though I enjoy the perfect plex, I don't use the perfect solution that much. That's a submission hole. I do use what's called a sharpshooter. That's one of my moves. But the perfect submission is a mission. So the perfect submission is a submission that I came up with some time ago. I used to do shoot wrestling in the early '90s, and I also, I did this entertainment wrestling, and I came up with with two types of submissions. I always figured if I can't pick the guy up or whatever, I want to be able to put him in a hold where I can make him give up. So I came up with two submissions, and that those are my. If I need to use them, I can use them. But but yeah, I definitely would do it. If I got into a submission match, you probably would see me pull out quite a few submissions that you haven't seen in a long, long time. So I would just go down the list. I would start out from basic submissions and I would just start advancing my way down the list. If I can get a body part, then I can put a submission on it. So
Awesome,
I would enjoy that match.
awesome. But
Yeah,
going back to the prior question,
yeah, I didn't
if
want to
there's
dodge
anyone on
that.
the roster you're interested, that you're interested.
Well, I'm trying to think hard here. I
Oh,
don't want to
sorry.
like
Don't mind me.
insult
My connection
someone.
is kind of funny. So.
All right. I
It's
saw.
okay. It's all right.
Oh no. It's not insulting. It's just off the top of your head, if there's anyone that on the roster who you feel that you would like to challenge or face off with, anyone that you've never faced before.
Good question. I like that.
Who haven't I faced? Okay, let's see. I had Big Time J.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Face just says it all.
We saw that match.
that's another character. That's another character that I may want to get my hands on in a different light. Not for title or anything. I just want to get in the ring with him, just to get in the ring with him and educate him. Then you have I really haven't had. Well, I had the match with Venum, and that turned out with an interference. So I never really got a clear, decisive victory with that. Let me see who else there is on this roster. there was a there's a couple of there was one young man that I was in the battle royal with. I think his name was Crixus. He was in one of the battle
Yeah.
royals. I never got to match up with him, but I'd like to go at it with him because he's one of the younger talents. I'm always open to
Yeah.
battle the younger talents. I like to see, what the new up and challenging person is, and that way I can get a chance to experience. And it's like going to Baskin Robbins. They got a new flavor. I want to try that out,
Yeah, absolutely.
except I'm not tasting wrestlers, but 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 other than
Especially with
that,
this, especially with what's
no,
going on in this day and age.
Mm.
no, not even before. but
Oh,
Not even
yeah,
before, but even
yeah.
so.
But yeah, but there's I'm trying to think of whoever else I would like to match up with. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember names actually, because I'm like, if you could throw some names out, I'll tell you yes or no. You got the roster, because I'm trying to think who's on the roster right now. Because after this Corona thing, I'm trying to think who made it, who didn't make it, who fell off, who's dead. So
oh my God.
no, I'm just kidding. But
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm trying to think who's actually who's still on the roster, and I would
well,
like to.
Awesome, awesome. I do have a question. Actually, not as a question, as a comment. Actually, it's a great comment. Actually, I saw you in person on my birthday. And I forget.
Thank
Um,
you, Caution.
yeah, yeah. Right,
No,
right.
this guy's whoever Caution is. I just want to say
Oh,
thank you.
okay. I was like, no, no.
And I
yeah,
remember, yes, and I do remember the birthday. You
Yeah.
had the blue. I think it was a blue dress or something
Oh,
like.
it was something like that, greenish or blue, or it's okay.
Okay, because those
yeah,
aquamarine colors look
I
like
know
blue.
you
They look
are.
like green.
yeah.
Exactly.
And then there was the lighting because I saw that episode. I saw that
Yeah.
episode before, so
Well, someone called me a dude. I mean, someone referenced me as a dude. I mean, hey, to each their own.
yeah,
But my question, another question, I keep saying question. My thing to you, Sean, is I love how you have that signature like move. Like I don't know how you. Like, can I ask you, how do you have the drive to do when you go on the ropes and you fly high and you go down? I don't know how you do it. Can you tell us the secret, please? I need to know. I need to know.
Well, that was a good question because I'm like, she's describing me like I was like Batman or something. I'm like, wow, that's all
You
right.
flew so high. I was
But
like, damn.
well,
well,
you're one of the few people that actually come off the top in this company, so it's not
yeah,
shocking if she'd asked that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
well, yeah,
I
because like,
haven't even come off the ropes. I'm just like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna
well, I'm
stay to
not
the
a,
ground. I'm kind of good with my ground base. So
No, I just like I was so mesmerized. Like, wow, this guy chose so high, and then, like the way he came down. Like, wow, I need to know. you know?
well, again, I'm not a really big fan of like leaping off the top rope, but I will do second rope stuff. I mean, I can come off the top rope, but again, I like to wrestle, so there's not too much room in
yeah,
my move list for flying all over the place. But when I do have to go up, one of my biggest influences in wrestling was Bret Hart. And I
Yeah,
just make sure that
yeah,
I use what I need when I need it, and when I go for it, I don't go too many times to the well. If I'm going to that second rope to bring the elbow, then I want to make sure that it's at a time when I know I'm going to land it. Some fellas love staying on the top rope and flying. I've done the diving headbutt at times, and rarely have I done the elbow off the top rope. But yeah, but as far as getting up there, and again, you have to have leg strength, because you got to be able to jump to the distance that you need to make it to. I train my legs. I do all kinds of exercises to be totally even all over. I don't just try to. Some wrestlers like to be from the waist up. They're massive, and then they wear jeans at the beach, because their
yeah,
leg. And
oh God.
I try to be even totally around. That way, if a person gets me in some kind of a lower body hold, I can I can power out of it. And again, when you're jumping off that rope, you have to spring off. You got to make it. Nothing sucks. Then you jump and go, oh, I'm not going to make this one, and and you dive into the canvas.
Yeah, the sack of potatoes thing. Nah,
yeah.
I've had that happen to me before. It's no fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll just be the
Like, yay! Oh my God, where did I go? I went forward for like an inch. What's
Oh,
going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah. There's a
I've
lot,
had that happen.
I saw the comment about the fisherman suit, the perfect place, the fisherman
yeah.
suplex, the cradle suplex with a pin, and so there's something again. Right, there it is again. Well, Terrence,
Good
what
comment,
happens is
Terrence.
that the with that move, there's a lot of training for my lower back that I do. I do reverse sit-ups where you basically like if you I wish I had a toy but like I could show you with a toy it's easier
Like,
but
whoa.
like when you do a sit up normally you lay on your back.
Yeah.
Where's the camera? No, and you bring yourself up when you wait, let me try and get right. When you do a sit up you go like this. Well, an inverted sit up is now you go down and you bring your and then that works that lower two muscles in your back. And when I go to do the flex, that muscle is what generate from the legs to the back, and then the arms is at the end. But that's something that I definitely work hard because
Yeah.
as these wrestlers today, they get older and they get heavier, and it's like they I have to get this guy up, whatever. So my job is to get him up and get that pin. So I don't want to halfway get up then and like he fall on you if he's too heavy, he gets the pin. Or you gotta, if you're gonna go after a move or a hold and you're gonna master it, then you train your body for every possible situation that you can apply that hold.
Mm.
And that's that. So I just work my back, I work my arms, I work my legs. I used to in the old days
Oh,
before wrestling events, I would actually while they were setting up the ring, if there were audience members in the audience, I would grab a basketball and I would go dunk it for the audience just
oh,
to show them that I can do it. So yeah, so I used to dunk the basketball. I probably still can. I just haven't had the urge to do it. But yeah, so I can jump pretty high, but you have to build your legs up for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg, you wanna? I wait to Greg.
Oh. Well, having been someone that has actually been there, witnessed your fisherman suplex, which it's. I'm gonna say it is pretty. It is. It's absolutely pretty. It's one of the prettiest I've seen. So, and by pretty, I don't mean it like dainty or anything like that. I mean like it's one of those like you get the mechanics down. You got the mechanics down correctly, and usually you're successful with the move. So I give you credit for that one. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Except when I fight Happy and he's been hitting me with something. That's the
Oh
only
man.
time.
well, I'm gonna attest to being a former student of Happy's.
Mm,
Yeah,
Oh, you poor unfortunate child.
crazy.
I, I can tell
What do
you,
you
I can tell you how I
where
how
do
I
you
was
even
introduced to Happy.
where do you even
I
sign
walked,
up for classes like that? I don't even
I,
think
I
that's like legal.
I walked into a wrestling school. He was there in the ring. He was working. He was training with someone bigger than me, and tossed him across the ring. And I just looked like, holy Jesus, what am I doing here?
It's
Yeah. Strong fella, that guy.
yeah,
So,
Strong.
it's
and mind
crazy.
you, this was when he was bigger. So
Yes,
he's a
I
little
do
more.
remember
He's a
I
little
remember
more.
him. I remember him.
So
Yeah.
imagine, I'm a big boy. So him tossing somebody, it was rather eye opening, especially my first day going into wrestling school.
Wow.
So
Yeah, he gets really violent. I see his matches. It's like, whoa. Okay, that's too much for
now
me.
you see where I get it from. What?
Oh, we got a question here, guys. What
Oh.
do you think of Big Time Jason? Be honest. It's okay.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, I partially answered that earlier, but
Yeah,
I'll elaborate.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, um, I'm trying to think of how to perfectly answer this. Okay, well, I know that he has this. He's got this thing of, I guess he wants to get his title back. I understand that.
Yeah.
He's also coming to the Fed touching a lot of raw nerves. So I remember, I think one of the first times I saw him on the camera, he's cutting a promo, and I'm from a time where, as a wrestler, there's some wrestlers who have class, and then there's some wrestlers who just are trash. And so what happens is that he's on the microphone and he's cursing and F this and blah, 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 blah. But then I'm like, you know, you're coming into the Fed, and you want to make that impact. And I know he thinks he's the next big thing or whatever it is that, new wrestlers think about when they are sipping the Kool-Aid. But, um, but,
Red
at the
drink.
same time, I think that he
Red
would
drink.
get a red drink, Jim Jones. So I think that he would get
Oh my God.
further. I think he would get further as a wrestler if he actually didn't talk so much and actually just went in the ring and did the work. But then you have some people that have that scare tactic. They like to talk, because you'll see,
Yeah.
like the Undertaker. He doesn't talk much, but he psychs you out with the darkness and all that. So maybe this is big time Jason's way of psyching people out or aggravating them very much, but one or the other. But he gets you in a mind frame of, oh, I got to deal with this guy right now. So your mind is already off the mat. So it might be an advantage for him. But as far as a wrestler and so forth, it looks more like from the way I've watched him, he looks more like a brawler type of a wrestler, not he's not a chain lock or exchange holds. He's more like well, if the chair work, I'll use a chair. If I gotta cheat, I'll use this. So it's like he's grabbing at everything with the ultimate prize, to become that next whatever. So he's just running after whatever works so that he can get the belt. So I mean, some people have
Yeah.
different styles like that. Like if you look at the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, I've been dropping names all day, but
Wow.
if you look at him, I'm just giving history lesson. If you look at Ted DiBiase, you always know he's a heel. You'll never see him as a good guy. And you know that he'll put his feet on the road to win. He'll pay the referee. So some people have that mentality, and that's what it seems like um, Big Time Jay has that mentality, just whatever it takes to get there. But, it is whatever it takes to get there. But if Shawn Jenkins is holding the title, your tricks ain't going to work.
Mm.
So, but will we?
There
Uh,
was.
Mhm.
Well,
there's a
there was a
question.
question, as you can see, it's
Yeah.
up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Will we see the return of the mob? The mob, obviously, big time Jason's group. Do you expect to see them come back? And also, how would you deal with them if you were in a situation where you were confronted by them?
Well, dealing with a mob is a hard thing because you have several of them against one person or two people, whatever. But it's just like it's like in the wilderness, you just have a pack of jackals that just show up and jump on some antelope and try to,
Yeah.
it's just a disaster after the end. But if the mob does return or is back or whatever, um, my way of dealing with it would be, if they're willing to go at it with me one on one, and I'll challenge each and every one of them. It can be one after the other the same night. I wouldn't, I have that much confidence I could deal with them. However, if it comes to the point where they are not willing to meet me in a one-on-one situation, they gotta mob me or whatever, then I would go to recruit an equally powerful team to
Mm.
deal with them.
Yeah.
So I would say, listen, if they outnumber you, then you get numbers to even it up, even the odds. If there's seven of them, then I'll go find seven people that can match, and I'll have each person specialize in a particular style of wrestling, so that if I need the submission man, we know we got that guy. It's kind of like having an army, Sometimes you need the sniper. You can't have the guy with the pistol running and getting his head blown off. Sometimes you need to hit him from far away. Sometimes you need the
Yeah.
guy with the saw, just a big, huge gun guy that weigh like 340, and he just, mow it down. So, but the mob, they're definitely, some a crew to be reckoned with, because I've seen some of the stuff that they've done already, and they've been definitely causing some problems. Before, what is this, BC, before Corona? So
Yeah.
that's what this.
I actually had a question because I shared this on Facebook, and it didn't show up in the live video feed on the Facebook um, feed for this video, but it was actually in the feed that I shared. So Jamie Rosario asked, and this is to go back to if you go for the championship, what is your approach / game plan against a champion like Venum?
Ooh, nice. Good question.
Well, since we never had a decisive situation in the past, I definitely will be coming a lot harder, because I actually want to just be able to say, okay, that one's done too, but it's easier said than done. I can always say I want to go up against a guy and I'm just going to beat him, or I can just win, but you actually have to go out and carry out the task.
Yeah.
Venum, I watched him fight in that, I think it was a hardcore match with, or it turned hardcore. It was like, with him and Big Time Jay, they had at the end. And so I can see that he can, be pounded on, and then he can take a licking and keep on ticking. So,
Yeah.
I had to put that into consideration. I'd have to piece together what it is that, that makes him tick. But as far as, um, going at a strategy for going at it with him, I'm just going to come head on at him. And I mean, at the time that I had him in the ring, I do realize that, his legs are a weak point, and I was working on those when I had him in the ring at that time. So I think I would just go to make him submit. I think that's what I would try to go to do.
Interesting though.
Okay.
I learned that tonight. We got Vicky Val. She says, I think I missed this, but if it was said, but when are you guys getting back in the ring?
Well, that's one of those. Well, you got to ask the government that one, because they kind of control the whole gathering and getting together. But me, I would give it no more than, I would think no more than 2 months. What are we in June now? So July. I'm figuring by August maybe it'll be something happening or whatever. Vicky Vale, Batman. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that name sounds so familiar.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's the reporter. Yeah, but so that's what I think, somewhere around that time, August or whatever. That should be the time I think we'll be back in the ring or whatever.
Awesome. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, honestly. Get not just to get back in the ring, but also honestly, I have fun calling the play-by-play. So I'm wearing two hats here in WTF, and I look forward to seeing you in action, Sean.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, it's fun watching you wrestle. It's it is, and honestly, I actually do want to see all the rest of the roster going and doing their thing, because we all love doing this. We all do.
Yeah, it's a crazy infection. It gets in your blood, and the only way to get rid of it is a transfusion, or something. But you just, I've been wrestling since I was 11.
Wow.
So, and I've been doing, that's a different world. I've done martial arts since I was 5, but I don't mix martial arts and wrestling. If I'm going to be a wrestler, then I want to be known as the best wrestler that I can be. I prefer never to use a martial arts hold or a move or anything like that, because I want to keep martial arts as its own thing. Wrestling is its own thing. And I feel like it'd be like cheating or something of that nature to pull something from somewhere else and use it here. So I'd rather just be the wrestler, and I've been doing a pretty good job of wrestling, so I'll continue to go that way. Um, what I was going to say. Oh, I'll pay you a compliment. At your birthday
Yes.
moment, you actually sang a song. So you actually sing pretty well. So I just wanted to give you a compliment. And I just wanted to say, I just wanted to give you a compliment. I just tell the truth. And you, as far as Mr. Black, as far as commentating, I have seen you commentate. I've actually stood ringside one match. I think when Jay became the United Continental Champion, Jay whatever Skull, all these things. Anyway, but the point is that he became champion. I was listening to you commentate and whatever, and you do a good job out there, and you bring a lot of perspectives to it, and you inform the audience to things that they may not be seeing or may not be thinking about because they're looking at a match, but it's your job to help them fill in the blanks where they just don't understand what just happened. So it's a tough job. I mean, I've done commentary way back, just special appearance or something, but never like full time. So it's definitely we used to call them broadcast journalists is what they used to be called.
Yeah.
And that's the truth because you have to have your facts together. You have to be able to present this stuff. And then you never know when some wrestler wants to be a bullhead and then want to put his hands on one of you guys. So it's a dangerous. It should come with hazard pay, actually.
Yeah, it really should.
So yeah, but no,
I think that's part of the reason why they had me on commentary because I'm also a wrestler, so
Awesome.
Yeah, you're only going to take but so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But before we continue on, I do want to say one thing to you, perfectly, Sean Jenkins. I had it right this time, thank God. I want to salute you, sir. I know you served our country, and I just want to thank you for that.
Where'd you get that information from?
I got it from somebody close to you, actually. Not close, but someone gave me some information. I was like, really? He did? I was like, you actually are a veteran, I believe, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh boy. That's a chapter, boy. That's a chapter.
I got it,
yeah. My God. Yeah, that's a chapter, boy. Yeah.
No, I just want to thank you for what you've done. And,
great representative.
Definitely.
You mean you said you want to think what I thought?
No,
I was like,
no.
Missed something.
Thank you, by the way, also. I'd also like to say thank you to you.
Every person walking this planet daily has an opportunity to make a difference, to be a quote unquote hero. You got that. True. You got the person that maybe, and I've seen it where one of my aunts actually, her sister died and she took her kids in and she raised them. Yeah, my aunt, they're all grown now, but it's like, for those kids, she was their hero. She didn't have to, do anything or fight a war or anything like that. And then and actually some of my biggest heroes, I always have different tights, but I do have a particular pair of tights that I wear during the month of October and it's about, people who are battling with terminal, cancer, things like that. And so on the tights, it's basically, I wrestle in the ring, but they wrestle every day with cancer or with whatever. So that's my tribute to those people. And then also you have that, they have the acronyms now of now I always get it wrong. Come on.
LBGTQ?
Yeah, right. So it's these acronyms, but I took that and I always say I have
the
a pair of tights.
LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I have a pair of tights with that on the leg with the letters, but it stands for Let's Be Great Together. That's what I stand for as a wrestler. That's what I stand for as a person. is that it doesn't matter if the person is a homosexual, it doesn't matter if the person's a heterosexual. On this earth, we have an opportunity to let's be great together. And when I step in that ring, I wrestle for the guy. I wrestle for the guy that sits on his bed 40 minutes in the morning because he's too injured to get up and go to work, but he's still going. I wrestle for the mother who raises them kids because the husband may have walked out, he may have died. I wrestle for that child who wants to grow up to be a wrestler, but just hasn't got the body, or maybe doesn't have the, he's stuck in a wheelchair, but he wants to be a wrestler. I wrestle for that guy. When I say I'm absolutely perfect, I am absolutely perfect because I draw upon every imperfection of everybody else and I make it perfect. So I don't want to sit here and throw a speech, but when I get in that ring, I'm not getting in the ring for me. I'm getting in the ring for the people who can't get in the ring. That's where the difference is. And that's what I try to make a difference as far as being a wrestler goes. And then of course, Perfect still loves to cater to his Perfect fans. So,
I actually have a question from the viewing party feed. So,
boy, it's turned into the Perfect Sean Jenkins show.
Who do you think is the most dangerous man in WTF right now?
Ooh.
Big time Jason, because he's desperate. A desperate person is dangerous to deal with. He's desperate, and when you say desperate, you think like a crack fiend or something like that. No, I'm talking desperate as mean like the person wants something so bad that I'll do whatever I got to do to get there. That's a dangerous person. As far as a straight up and down dangerous, like as far as just wrestling wise, to who I'd be careful. Number one on the book, Happy the Clown. First guy on the book, Happy the Clown, because like he's dangerous as far as meaning like he's dangerous to my health.
Oh,
but big time Jason is dangerous to a person's health, but he's also dangerous to his own health because he'll go to that point to get there. Now, once he gets there, I have no clue. Like, he's had the belt. So now if he gets back to that point again, he's going to be even more dangerous because he's going to want to keep it. So it's going to take a lot to get him off of that throne. So the point is not to let him back on that throne. And I don't mean, a bunch of wrestlers gang up and just say stop him, but he's got this mob running with him. He's got his desire and his ambition, and he's got a lot of, they say there's a sucker born every second. Well, there's a lot of wrestlers that are coming in the door that know nothing about him, and he can just quickly take advantage of them. By the time they learn the lesson, their faces around a pole somewhere or something crazy, or they might be coming in the building. He show up with a daggone garbage can in the parking lot, so it's like, oh, he can't wrestle tonight. I guess I win the match. It's like kind of one of those types of things. It's a smart way to to do it. Every one of us has been like desperate at one point or another during our lifetime of our career. So it's not saying a person's desperate is like desperate. I need it. No, it's not like that.
Perfect. Precious. Oh my God! Actually, we got a special guest alongside this amazing live SAC chat today. Before I ask you this question, let's get him on the show. Hey, we got Champ Venum. What's up, Venum?
Oh, hey.
Yes, I'm gonna do the honors. Oh, okay.
What's going on? Oh, he's in the same team as me. Oh.
So I'm gonna do the honors. I'm gonna ask.
Social distance.
Oh God, here we go. I'm gonna do the honors, guys, and ask. The question is, do you think we could defeat Venum for the WTF championship?
Well, you can tell from the smile on my face. But you see, now since you're here, I'll tell you straight to you.
Speak up.
That you and I have never really had the finale to our match we had earlier. Mr. Desperation showed up and ruined that for us. But straight up and down, I mean, there's not a wrestler on this roster that I can't beat, and I don't have to build myself up or whatever. And there's a lot of wrestlers that know they can't beat me in a straight up and down match, without some crazy hook or angle. As far as wrestling goes, there's no wrestler on the roster that has the wrestling ability that I have. There's some wrestlers that have a better cheating ability than I do, or a better hardcore ability than I do, but nobody. You make the mistake and put Perfect Sean in a ring in a wrestling match, you will go home 10 pounds lighter because that belt will be going with me. And that's exactly what would happen.
I like your confidence. I respect what you've done in the business. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that you're going to walk out with this, like I said to Vero earlier, you're going to have to kill me, or anybody's going to have to kill me to take this from me. Now, if you're willing to do that, it's yours. But you're going to have to try your best ability to take this from me. I'm not knocking you. I respect, like I said, I respect what you've done. But you're going to have to work. You're going to have to really pound my ass out to take this from me.
Well,
as I said earlier, yeah, we had a match and Big Time interfered in that match. So there was no outcome, there was no winner. You had me in the sharpshooter. I grabbed onto the rope. Who knows from there? But now, when we actually step in the ring again, it's going to be a whole different ballgame.
Damn. Intensity in the air.
So
you're going to
your
have to pound me. You're going to have to break my legs. You're going to have to break my arms because I am not going to tap and I am not going to give up.
Another form of submission is when a person goes unconscious, and I am capable of putting you unconscious. So, if you want to go down this road of you're not going to take a pin, you're not going to give up, then I'm just going to have to render you unconscious. And that means whatever submission hold I have to do, if I can throw it on and keep it on for as long as the day is long, then I'll do that. But, again, it comes down to who wants it more. Do you want to hold on to the belt that much longer, or do you want to let it go, or do I want it that bad, or do I just say it's not that important to me? It comes down to what's important to the person at that time. And I'm letting you know that WTF title is the only title in this company that I have not had. I've had several other titles in this place when the titles had the new smell on them before they became all funked up with everyone else wearing them that actually didn't deserve them. So I'm the original. I'm basically one of the original owners. So, but I look at your determination, your drive. I did say earlier on that you are able to take a good beating, and I've seen that in your match with Big Time Jay. And, I'm talking to you just like as if I'm about to meet you tomorrow night or something. I'm just letting you know that going in that ring, both people have to understand that any match can end a person's career. Any match, even a light match. I have to understand that you can try to end my career and I can try to end yours. And I don't mind the idea, because in order for you to meet me, I have to be willing to also go across that line of maybe I may not make it out of a match, which separates men from children. So the fact that you're willing to stand in front of a person who's established I've been wrestling longer than you've been an adult. So it's like, I can definitely have no problem with going at it with you. And I actually commend your bravery for just coming out and saying that I'd have to basically kill you for you to take that title from you. But I'm not trying to kill you because I have more fun in the rematches when people are trying to get back their belt. So, I have no problem with that.
So do I.
Whoa.
It's even more fun when you take it from them. It's even more fun when you take it from them and the other person just likes to yap away like you know who.
Oh yeah,
somebody had to shut them up.
It's getting real in here,
had to
guys.
shut them up.
Wow.
And if you were in front of me right now, I'd actually pat you on the back for that because that actually was a roach that needed to get stomped. But here we are. Now it's the two of us. So listen. You bring your A game, I'll bring my A game, and we'll see what happens. At the end of the match. But don't think that I'm going to come in there and this is not going to be like Sesame Street or we're going to be playing with puppets. We're going to be going at it. And at the end of the match, if anything, perhaps we'll have a deeper respect for one another as wrestlers. But you'll know what the limits are, and I'll take you there.
Is this Happy the Clown?
Of course.
Oh,
anytime.
Why I just spelled clown? I just realized that. Hello,
anytime.
This is not the party I want to be at.
Sweet baby Jesus, what's going on here?
Boy.
I think
it was welcome to the party.
Oh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's I, the highest ranking, the most seen, and the most wanted WTF champion ever.
Not till you have this, brother.
Respect to Sean Jenkins. Respect to Venum.
Respect to
to my brother. Neck. I won. Let's keep it real. John Jenkins, you're one of my best I've ever had. You said you wanted a match, some Gates of Hell match with me. But no. I want to do the submission match.
Oh, you happy?
Because you see, no. Let me finish. Unlike you, I have done catch on tech, collegiate wrestling since the age of 10. I have studied martial arts since the age of 6. The only reason I go hardcore is it's more fun. I want the submission match with you. But let's get to Venum. I don't want your title. I want you to establish it and put the name on it. Put the name on it. You is the future of WTF. Jenkins, you are our heart and soul. You two fight will make one hell of a match. So I'm going to step out of it. But whoever wins, I got next.
So I guess you got a submission match coming your way.
Oh wow!
And oh yeah, the big time Jay stepped in the back of the line, Stone. Or I will give you something you always wanted. An old school ass kicking you deserved since you was a child.
Yeah, I guess he's hearing all this.
I am tired of sitting back and letting guys run their mouth and don't show nothing. This is why I respect Sean Jenkins. The perfect one. Absolutely perfect. Because when he says it, he does it. He beat me.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Venom, our so-called four-way, whatever match you had, I give you your credit. Take nobody else. But if I put my money on it, I got to give it to Sean. Experience beats, wins. So that's just my little say-so on the matter.
Interesting. We got a question. Happy the Cloud versus Big.
I respect that. I have an answer for that, and I respect that. I respect Sean where he came from. I respect where you came from. But in this match, I'm gonna do everything in my power to try and to actually beat Sean Jenkins. If he beats me, yeah, I'm gonna step in the middle of the ring and shake his hand like no other, because he deserves it all these years. But if I win, I'm gonna enjoy stepping in the ring with you. And that will be something between us. And after everything, after whether you win the championship, whoever wins the championship, maybe we should step aside. And if this mob comes back, take them out for good. So make it like a 3-on-3, or however how many the mob is.
But see, that's the thing. I already got my crew. We're standing and waiting.
Word.
I got Alexa Rose. I got the Madman Josh. I got the Beast, Gregory Black. And I got many others coming. You see, I am bringing more to the table. And this is going to be fun because some of them are legends from WTF. Some of them are legends from other organizations.
Wow.
You see, my thing is, my problem with Jay is he doesn't respect. When you open up your mouth and challenge legends, you expect a legendary ass kicking coming. So if there's and I saw the question, will there be a Happy the Clown versus Big Time Jason? Yeah, I agree to it. Let's do it. I like a quick 5-minute workout.
Could be less
and
than
Big Time J. Big Time J. I am not those kids you power bombing your little backyard video you put up. I'm a grown ass man. And if I want to, and Sean Jenkins will tell you, and Greg will tell you, I could end your career in 3,000 ways you couldn't even see. I'll break your arm in 5 different ways at one time. You think Sean Jenkins is one of the perfect wrestlers? I'm not a wrestler. I'm a shooter. And when I shoot, and if you know wrestling terms, I shoot the break. I will fish hook your nostrils. I will grab your ears out of its sockets. I will break fingers, toes, and elbows. You get my gist? So, wait around, talk about You're the Mob. I'm going to go off this show, eat, drink, and train. The thing is, when this is all said and done, and the mob do come back, what's a mob? Because after I'm done with them, no, after my family's done with them, who even know what a mob is?
See,
Preach.
this is why I particularly stay away from clowns, because when a clown shows up in a car, you never know how many clowns are in that car with that clown. And the mob will see a real life circus smorgasbord take place if Happy the Clown shows up with his boys to take on the mob, because Happy has more reserves than I know, and from just having been in the ring with Happy several times, I really would prefer to do something else than to have to match up with Happy. But if I have to, then I have to. You put your britches on and you do what you got to do. But there's just, but speaking from a person that I can see that's inexperienced in the history and the richness and the legacy of WTF. WTF, for a lot of people they don't understand, but WTF was around well before that three-letter acronym that they use it now for. It used to stand for World's Toughest Fighters. You see, and people don't understand that, there's a reason why it's called World's Toughest Fighters. There were some tough wrestlers that came down the pike. I'm giving you guys like a history lesson. It's like me sitting with you now down there by the Liberty Bell, and I'm about to start telling the country's history. Happy the Clown is one of those guys. It's like, and to have Happy the Clown put his red dot on you, you don't want that. No matter what wrestler you are, established, young, new, old, you don't want that. Because Happy the Clown's like an old-fashioned pit bull. Once he bites on, you got to kill him to get him off you. He just bites on it. He doesn't let go. I remember wrestling Happy the Clown, and his damn arm was so big. I'm just talking about history. We were up in the Bronx, and we had a match, and and I'm like, gosh, this dude's arm is big, and I got to deal. And then mind you, then he starts to hit you with that arm. So then you really realize how strong he is. So it's actually to be able to sit here and live and tell the story, and to been able to overcome that, it tells you that you got another tough wrestler sitting here. And if Happy is bringing more of these old tough wrestlers to the dance, I'm definitely going to get myself a ticket to watch this show, because I forget Ringling Brothers. I'm coming to see this show. And as far as Venum goes, Venum, I'm not here to beat you down verbally or put you down. You're the next upcoming thing. Right now, you're the current champion. And I have to respect you right now as the champion, because I'm not that person and you are. So I give you respect for having won it,
Same here.
And as far as, I've held titles throughout my almost 22 years of entertainment wrestling. I've held many different titles, and not one of those titles, made me better or made me less than. I'm still that person that I was before and after having the title. And that's what you got to keep in your mind, is that, and I don't want you to get caught up in that flash in the pan, that fake gold Hollywood world where people think they get the title and they think that makes them the wrestler. The wrestler is established long before he or she gets the title. And now that you have the title, you now are in a different situation. You now have to establish that title under your watch. You have that title right now. So the next person that comes along and gets that title has a shoe to fill. They have to become the next great champion. And since you have that belt, your job is to become the next great champion. Now, if you fail, that's on you. If you succeed, that's on you. But it all comes down to what you're going to do with the time. You got your 15 minutes of fame. What are you going to do in front of the camera? What are you going to do in front of the spotlight? When Absolutely Perfect is not in front of this camera like I am right now, and you can you can bet your last dollar I'm somewhere training, I'm somewhere exercising, I'm somewhere doing something that keeps me perfectly fit. I don't walk around and get a pot belly or get fat. Perfect Sean Jenkins stays
What
perfect.
the?
I stay perfect all year long.
Okay,
I don't.
this ain't a strip show.
It
So
ain't a strip show. I'm just letting you know that I stay perfect all year
so
long because I never know when
Yo,
the
homegirl, calm
opportunity
it
is
down.
going
Put the dollar bills back in your pocketbook. Don't
calm
start
it
throwing
down,
them out
calm
yet.
it down,
I
calm it
never
down.
I never know when the
Do you
opportunity is
not
going
see
to
what
come
you're
up.
doing to Veronica?
This is a PG, okay? It's not rated R.
The
Y'all
reason I
just
stay
see the
on
arm, every hairy arm next to me the whole time.
the reason I stay the way I stay is because you never know when the opportunity is going to come up, when that belt's going to be put in front of you, and you're going to have to take it. There's no expression that what luck favors the prepared. Well, I'm always prepared, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm absolutely perfect, Sean King.
Ooh, a nice exit. I like how you did that. Exit. That's pretty cool.
And
Yeah.
totally respect that.
Put your-
Totally.
Excellent, excellent.
Put that money back in your pocket. I see you reaching it.
Keep it up.
Oh,
All right.
happy.
Well, this has been a very, very, you know, fun, fun time. But it's time for us to bring this to a close. So, Sean Jenkins, Venom, Happy, do you have any parting words for the viewers at home?
The viewers at home?
Let the champion go first.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go last and save the best for last.
Oh, that's how it works, huh? Now, basically, just stay tuned. They're gonna see a lot of action. They're going to see a lot of us go through a lot of pain because we're gonna go through a lot of pain. We're gonna do a lot of homework in that ring. It's not gonna be easy for none of us.
That's it.
No, I'm saying this. Hey, that's so. I really have not that much to say. I already said everything I had to say, really. But at home, hey, I want us to have a better performance for our fans and everything like that. So
True.
that's what it's all about. It's not about us. It's about people that's watching us. We could talk on here, talk about us saying, oh, I'm the best, or I'm going to be on you. I'm going to be a champion. We all want to be champions. But at the end of the day, we're performing for the people.
That's right.
That's what we're performing for.
Amen to that. Amen
We're
to that.
performing for the people that are watching us. We could say whatever the heck we could say. We could say we're the best, we're whatever, but at the end of the day, they're the one that decide and be like, you know what? That's the perfect Sean Jenkins. That's Happy the Clown. That's Venom. I'm not gonna mention Big Time J because God knows how many people hate that man's guts.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So yeah,
Count these fingers.
I don't think there's enough fingers in this room to count that. So
Neutral. I don't know nothing.
I'm just gonna be real and be like, good luck to everybody. I have respect for everybody.
Down.
And by the end of the day, Sean, just get ready to be Venom Lies.
Oh, damn! Damn! I didn't expect that at all, man.
Oh, so it's my turn?
Go ahead, man. I guess. Go ahead.
Floor's all yours.
It's my turn. Gentlemen, thank you for watching our show. Thank you for being entertained. Thank you for coming and making us be part of your life. And let's be honest, we can't be here without you. There's no Happy the Clown without you. There's no Venom without you. There's no Sean Jenkins without you. Hell, there wouldn't be a WTF without you. From one of the original, not from one of the oldest members of WTF, thank you for coming back. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for making us fucking relevant again.
Yay! Clap for that. Let's go to clap.
Yeah, we should all be clapping for that one.
I mean, listen, man, we bringing WTF alive again. That's amazing. You know, that's awesome. You know?
Yep. And
yes.
For one more thing, to all the WTF wrestlers, remember, we're nothing without the fans. And if you think you are better than the fans, get the hell out.
Mm.
And if you don't like the way I'm saying it, come meet me.
Oh, shit.
Catch me outside.
Kind of like the same words. I like those words.
Yep. No truer words have been spoken, bro.
Exactly.
This is crazy.
Well, WTF fans, world's terrific. What is it? World's terrific fans, or whatever you want to put that to make. But yeah, that's the truth. Every show that we do, every show that is broadcast, or we're doing a match or whatever it is, it all comes right down to our performance and entertaining of you guys out there. You know, from the second I step out the curtain, I'm looking for one of my fans, you know, and that's coming back, because I will start pulling female fans out the audience and having them get a chance to unwrap the perfect package like I used to do. And so what happens is all that entertainment stuff is for them. I really, what do I get out of this besides, like, as they say, you get satisfaction from a job well done? When I step out in that ring and I'm done and my match is over, and you guys are happy, and you come back and you subscribe and you click like and all these things that weren't around back in the day. There was no click like and all this. You just watched, and either you threw a bottle at the TV screen or not. But I do appreciate you guys that were there in the old days, and I appreciate you guys that have come back, and I also appreciate you guys that have joined on brand new. Now you ever have someone that's been in a coma and they come out of a coma? Well, that's what it seems like it's been for WTF. They've been in a coma for so long, and now they've woken up. And you know what you got to do when you come out of a coma? You got to make up for lost time. And that's what I plan to do with WTF and everyone else, I'm sure, here in this company. Because remember, we were the original ones that were around. We were the original ones that was on your public access and all those places. Now today you see wrestling having zero audience and doing shows. WTF did that. Again, we were more concerned about giving you the match product rather than having the audience and the fan and all that stuff. We wanted to give you the matches. And now today everyone's trying to give you the match and the audience. WTF should have copyrighted that years ago, and we all be millionaires right now. But with that being said, don't worry, Perfect Sean Jenkins is not going nowhere. I will be here as long as this ship can sail across the seas. I'm still going to be here. And I'm sure the rest of the cast will be here, and whoever else new that comes on. And the door is open for any talent that wants to show up and wants to take a shot at me, or I'm sure Happy loves people trying to take a shot at him. And even the champion, whoever it is, come on down. And, if you want to join the family, come down. If you want to be a fan, come down. I have no problem with it at all. And the more the merrier. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give you a performance every single time that I can. I'm going to leave every bullet in that ring. There will be none left. And I appreciate WTF for, still being here. Sometimes you see things that you like. Sometimes you see things you don't like. I appreciate the owners. I appreciate the cast, and I appreciate the host that hosted tonight. Thank you, guys.
Muchas gracias. Before we go, guys, social media for everybody. Social media. Who will start first?
Oh, and you can find me on.
I'd rather
Instagram.
the guests go first.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go to Instagram and just type
Here's the
in
question.
Perfect Sean Jenkins. You can go to Twitter and type in Perfect Sean J. I'm on there. You can even email me at perfectseanjenkins@myself.com.
Awesome. Okay, how about you, Happy the Clown?
Not up yet. It's coming soon. And believe me, you're going to like it. A lot of violence and a lot of blood. Who said that?
All right.
What about the infidels?
All right. How about you, Venom?
Mine will be Facebook, Puerto Rican Rock. Be able to find me there.
All right. Okay, my lovely host, what is your social media?
My social media? Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Gregory.necro.black. I see Sean Jenkins is
Oh,
already
that's
put up his
perfect. He didn't even need to say nothing. Look at that.
As you can see.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Twitter at GregNecroBlack. And you can also find me on Instagram at this_is_neck. You can find that name scrolling down below on the little
That's it.
ticker down below. But I share a lot of posts on my Instagram, political, comedy, wrestling related. So check it out. Give me a follow. I follow back.
Definitely awesome.
Oh,
yes.
Caution has been writing the whole night, and I meant to say, I was going to say, Caution, I'm acknowledging you. As a shout out to you. I do remember who you are, and I'm so glad to see you.
Of course, we
down
did
here on
remember
this screen.
question.
Yeah, shout out to you. I forgot to acknowledge you earlier.
Question. Question. You are going to make a comeback, and I saw you write that day you want to come back. Hit me up. We'll talk.
Hit me up first. Let me talk to you first.
Oh gosh, this is getting crazy, man. Yes, guys. Also, you can check out my social media under IG Diva and Diamonds or my artist page Vero G. Thank you, everybody who's been watching tonight. I love this. We continue on with greatness next week, guys. Every Fridays at 7 p.m. Yes, watch us live here. I might be a special co-host again. We'll see. I don't know. Depends on how you guys like it. Feel the feedback. But I just want to thank our amazing guests, the absolutely perfect Sean Jenkins. I got it right finally. My host.
Hey, don't forget your host there.
Gregory Black. Oh no, Jesus Christ. My lovely host, Gregory Black, co-host. Again, our amazing guest on the right side, this also. Perfect, absolutely great quality. Sean Jenkins, I had to say it right. All right, good. We got Venom in the background on there, and
absolutely perfect, Sean Jenkins.
I always fuck things up, and that's why you're my host. You help me out.
I think you need a new director over there.
Listen, you better stop it.
Just don't misspell the name on the paycheck.
Listen, man.
Exactly, that's what it counts.
Yes, I want to thank everybody who watched this amazing show tonight. Season episode 2, actually. It will be out already on YouTube, right? I believe YouTube is already out. So, guys, watch, subscribe, support these amazing wrestlers, and more things to come for everybody. Any last words before we go, guys?
Should I do? I'll wait till everybody has something to say. I'll do the closing.
Not a problem.
Hey, all I gotta say is thank you, fans, and I love y'all. And we all appreciate y'all for supporting us.
I say, if you ain't laughing, you ain't living.
Thank you, my perfect fans.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching this episode. As my co-host has said, we're going to be here on Fridays at around 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
7 p.m. And if you want to watch classic matches or even episodes from the new generation of WTF, you can find us on YouTube at WTF Wrestling. You can also check out WTF TV Live. They upload their episodes on YouTube as well. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, don't forget to click the little bell icon to know when every new video gets uploaded. because with the algorithm on YouTube, you may miss it.
That's right. All right, guess we out here then, guys. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you guys next week. God willing, yay! Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Thank you all, and good night.
Eso.
Thank you all.
You too.